When it comes to dating, a lot of people are having a lot of experiences that they would prefer not to have. And you may have heard the statement that what you resist persists. And what that means is the more you push against something, the more you reinforce its validity, the more you reinforce its reality, and the more it becomes all you see and all you think about. So if you're dating and you're having a lot of experiences that you would prefer not to have, or I should say, if you're getting a lot of what you don't want, this video is for you. Because in this video, I want to talk about the cycle we get stuck in that brings us more and more and more of what we don't want. And if you find yourself stuck in that cycle, here's what you need to do about it. Okay, now one of the things I want to say in this video, and this is really important, one of the biggest reasons we get stuck in these cycles is because we're actually misusing the experiences that we don't want to have. You see, we have these negative experiences, these experiences that we don't like, and we don't know how to use them. We don't know what to do with them. And if you think about what most people do with their negative experiences, you'll see how easily we get trapped in the cycle. Because what do? We have a bad experience, and what do? We think about it. We talk about it. We tell people about it. We go around, we tell our friends, so you wouldn't believe this person, what he said or what he did, or this date I went on, or you wouldn't believe this guy or this girl, or you like, and we just go on and on about it endlessly, and we get offended by it, and we take it personally, and we feel rejected, and we build up all this stuff and all this anger and frustration around it, and then we carry that into the next experience, the next date, the next person, and then we have more of those experiences, and we have more and more negative experiences, and then what do? We think about them more, and then we talk about them more, and we tell people about them. And what we're doing when we do that, when we take the experiences that we would prefer not to have, and we relive them and rehash them, and we talk about them, and we talk about how unfair it is, or how unjustified we are, or how wrong it is, or how unbelievable it is, or how outrageous it is, and we just relive and rehash all this negativity. What we're doing is we're painting a picture for ourselves about how it is, about how things are, about how men are, about how women are, about how dating is, about how the world is. And I want you to understand, this is how the human mind works. There is every spectrum of potential experience available to you. It's all here on planet Earth. Everything you can imagine, it's all here, and you can engage in any of it. But what we do is we create ideas about how it is. And then we only allow in information that is congruent to those ideas, and we dismiss all the information that isn't. So let's say you happen to see, just for example, 10 different things in front of you, and 3 of them are aligned with your picture of how men are, how women are, how dating is, how people are. You're going to accept those 3, and you're going to dismiss the other 7. So you have to recognize that most of the evidence that you're being presented with on a daily basis is being dismissed, and you're only accepting the evidence that fits in with the view you have about it or the way you see it. Now you might say, well, Shane, I'm not doing that. Well, if you're consistently experiencing what you don't want, and you're having more and more and more of these experiences that you don't want to have, you are doing it. Because here's the thing, I hear all the time, and I want to say this, there are a lot of lame ass guys in the world. There are. And on behalf of all the decent men in the world, I want to say I apologize for them. Okay? But here's the thing, they're not going anywhere. They're going to be there. And it's up to you to figure out what you do with that and how you relate with them. And by you taking it personally, by you getting offended by it, by you thinking about it and giving your thoughts, not only are you entertaining lame ass people in your life, but you're also giving your power to them, and you're allowing them to shape your view of reality, and you're allowing them to shape your view of the way things are and the way it is. And I hear it all the time on the comments on social media and the emails we get, and I just hear it, that there are no good men out there, or all men are jerks, or all men are dogs. And I know not everybody feels this way, but I hear this a lot. And I have to say, well, I'm not like that, and I've never really been like that. And my close friends aren't like that either. I have men come to me all the time for coaching and they say, Shane, like, I'm just really looking for a good woman that I can fall in love with and we can, have a family and build our life together. So I experience these men all the time and I know they're out there. I know they exist, but I also recognize that all spectrums of potentiality exist. I recognize that there are all different kinds of people, and we attract the people into our lives that fit in with the way we think it is. We actually, as I said earlier, we filter out the experiences that are not aligned with the way we think it is, and we only let in the ones that are. So I want to go back to my original statement, and I said, if you're consistently experiencing the things that you don't want, if you're consistently experiencing those things, it's because you're misusing those experiences and you don't know what to do with them. So right now I'm going to tell you exactly what to do with them. And this is going to be uncomfortable for a lot of people. The only thing you need to do with a negative experience, an experience of something you don't want, is use it to better identify what you do want. That is the only usefulness that a negative experience has. Now, a lot of people don't like it when I say that because they say, well, Shane, what about this? What about that thing that happened to me? Or what about this? Or what about that? Or surely this is valid and that's valid. Look, it's all valid. But to the degree that you choose to focus on that and give your attention to it and let it consume your thoughts and let it consume your feelings and let it cause you to guard yourself against other people and let it to close those doors in relationship. And the more you become focused on it and the more you become hypersensitive to it and you start to think that's the way it is, that's the way people are, that's all that's out there, that's the way all men are, that's the way all women are. The more you start to focus and give your attention to that, the more of that you'll see and the more of that you'll get. Whereas you could take a negative experience, say you were in an abusive relationship and you were physically and mentally and emotionally abused in a relationship. And I know this is a sensitive conversation, but rather than letting that relationship not only destroy your life while you were in it, but then bring that with you and carry it into the rest of your life and allow it to continue destroying your life and continue destroying your relationships, you could look at that relationship and you could say, you know what? These are the things I notice about that relationship that are very clear examples of what I don't want in a relationship. The way he spoke to me or she spoke to me, the way I was treated, the way I was, potentially maybe hit or hurt in some way. And I see those things as very striking, clear examples of what I don't want. And what I can do is I can actually take that and I can find the opposite of those things. And that will help me to very clearly identify the things I do want. I want someone who speaks to me in a certain way. I want someone who's kind to me. I want someone who's understanding. I want someone who's gentle with me and treats me with tenderness and love. And if I can take those experiences and look at them, and I understand there's some pain, and I'm not minimizing that. But when you can get to a place where you can objectively look at those experiences and say, okay, this is what I don't want. And that helps me to identify very clearly what I do want. And now I'm going to go out into my life, into the world. I'm going to date people. I'm going to get to know people. I'm going to have experiences. And I'm going to look very specifically for those things that I've identified that I do want. And I'm going to let go entirely of all the things I don't want. And I'm just going to become very attentive to see when those things that I do want are there. And when you do that, you'll start to get very clear, very specific, very intentional. And when you don't see those things, you won't spend your time with that person. And you'll have negative experiences from time to time, and you'll move on from them quickly, and they won't hold you back, and they won't stop you, and they'll help you continue to refine what you do want. And you'll start to focus all your attention on what you do want rather than what you don't want, and you'll let all those negative experiences go. And you will very quickly be on your way to create an incredible conscious relationship with an amazing person. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'd like to invite you to a workshop I'm hosting. It's called How to Attract Your Ideal Partner, where we're exploring some of these ideas I'm talking about here in very powerful detail. You can register for that workshop at myconsciousrelationship.com. Thanks so much for watching today. Take care.